Look how splendid and magnificent the scenery below is. How truly beautiful everything on earth is. From the velvety green carpet of grass stretching out to the vibrant flowers flaunting their brilliant colors, from the trees laden with inviting fruit to the many kinds of animals frolicking about. Do you see the large elephant with its ears like two giant fans walking leisurely, and over there the majestic lions with their manes as golden as sun silk, lounging and warming themselves in the sun? Can you show me where they are? Where did such a magnificent garden and a wondrous world like this come from? To answer that question, let us travel back in time together, back to the very beginning, to see how God prepared this earth for us. In the beginning, when the great work of creation had just begun, the earth was a bare sphere silent in the vast emptiness of space. There was only earth, rock, and water. A vast silence enveloped all things. The sky had not yet heard the song of birds, and the ground had not yet been marked by the footprints of any creature. But in that stillness, a grand design was taking shape. God, with his infinite love, looked upon the silent sphere and saw that it needed to be adorned with life, to be filled with sounds and colors. And so he began his work. His first command was for the land. "Let the land produce vegetation," he commanded, and his voice, powerful and authoritative, echoed through space. Immediately a miracle occurred. From the barren soil, tiny green sprouts began to stir and rise. At first it was a tender pale green, weak, yet full of life, covering the earth with a new coat. That was grass. Billions upon billions of blades of grass grew soft and smooth, forming endless green carpets that stretched from the deepest valleys to the tops of the highest hills. The air, once still and silent, was now faintly scented with the fresh fragrance of earth and plants. But God did not stop there. He wanted diversity, a symphony of plant species. So he made all kinds of small plants, shrubs with lush leaves and branches. Rose bushes began to bud, then shyly bloomed their first flowers, elegant and fragrant. Patches of purple myrtle and rhodomyrtus colored entire hillsides. Soft vines began to twine around tree trunks, reaching upward to catch the sunlight. Then he made the large trees the great giants of the plant kingdom. Oak trees grew tall, their canopies spreading wide like umbrellas, shading a large patch of ground. Proud pine trees rustled joyfully in the wind, carrying with them the rich scent of resin. And most special of all, he created countless kinds of fruit trees. Apple trees were heavy with fruit, each one plump and crimson. Orange and lemon trees gave off a gentle, refreshing aroma. Grapevines were laden with clusters of deep purple sweet fruit. The earth was now not just a green planet, but a giant garden, an abundant and delicious pantry. Everything was created not only to beautify the world, but also to nourish the life that would come later. Every plant, every flower was a masterpiece, a testament to the boundless creativity and love of the Creator. When the land was covered with the green of life, God turned his attention to the remaining spaces, the deep oceans and the wide sky. "Let the water teem with living creatures," he said, "and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." Beneath the clear blue water a new world began to form. The first creatures appeared small and simple, but they quickly evolved and diversified into countless species. The vast ocean was no longer silent, but became alive with millions, billions of living beings. Schools of small silvery fish swam about, creating moving ribbons of silk under the water. Larger fish of all shapes and colors, from the blue of the sea to the vibrant yellow of coral, swam leisurely through the colorful coral reefs. Intelligent dolphins danced on the waves, and giant whales sang their deep, majestic songs, their sounds echoing throughout the ocean. Life under the water was rich and marvelous, a mysterious and enchanting kingdom. At the same time, the sky also welcomed its first inhabitants. From the void, the first pairs of wings began to beat, breaking the silence of the air. Birds. Countless species of birds of all sizes and songs. Tiny hummingbirds, their wings beating so fast they were a blur to the naked eye, flew from flower to flower, sipping sweet nectar. Nightingales and orioles raised their clear, melodious voices, creating a wonderful choir each morning. High above, eagles spread their majestic wings, soaring in the sky, their sharp eyes observing the entire land. Flocks of swallows swooped and glided in the wind, painting beautiful curves against the deep blue sky. The sky was no longer empty, but had become a stage for the dance of wings and the symphony of birdsong. After filling the seas and the sky, God continued his work on the land. He wanted the earth to also resonate with the sounds of life, of footsteps, of roars and neighs. He made all kinds of animals, from the largest to the smallest creatures. First were the large and powerful creatures. He created the elephant with its massive body walking slowly and majestically, its long trunk skillfully picking sweet fruit from high branches. He created the lion, the king of all beasts, with its majestic appearance, and a roar that echoed through the mountains and forests. But in this initial time, ferocity did not yet exist. The gentle lion lay beside the slender deer and doe, and they shared the cool, fresh water together. Next, he made horses with their sleek coats. They galloped on the vast grasslands, speed and freedom present in their every stride. He created large bears, majestic striped tigers and rhinoceroses with their sturdy horns. Each species had its own beauty, its own strength, but they all lived in harmony with one another. Then he created smaller, more familiar animals. He made the dog with its loyalty and intelligence. He made the cat with its graceful appearance and independent nature. Mischievous monkeys swung from branch to branch in the dense forest, their calls enlivening the entire jungle. Nimble squirrels darted from one branch to another, busy collecting delicious nuts. What animals are around your house now? You must love them very much, right? We should be joyful and grateful that God created all these lovely creatures for us. The earth was now a complete symphony of life. The green of the plants, the brilliant colors of the flowers, the vibrancy of the fish in the water, the songs of the birds in the sky, and the diversity of the animals on the land. Everything was harmonious. Everything was good. But in all these wonderful works, God set apart a most special place. In the east, he created a garden unlike any other on earth. He called that garden Eden, a name that means pleasure or delight. And it truly was a garden of delight. The Garden of Eden was a masterpiece among masterpieces. Everything in this garden was in its most perfect state. The air here was always fresh and warm. Gentle sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating sparkling patches of light on the ground. A great river originated in Eden, its water crystal clear and cool, flowing through to water the entire garden, and from there it divided into 4 major riverheads that flowed out to all places. The trees in the Garden of Eden were unusually lush, with fruit and flowers year-round. The fruits here had a delicious flavor that could not be found anywhere else. The flowers bloomed with vibrant colors and radiated a sweet fragrance. The animals in the Garden of Eden were also unusually gentle and friendly. Lions played with lambs, tigers chased butterflies, and birds sang sweetly on the fruit-laden branches. In the middle of the garden, God planted 2 very special trees. One was the tree of life with its evergreen leaves and fruit that could grant eternal life. The other was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, a tree that held deep but mysterious understanding. They stood there majestic and silent, like guardians of the garden's sanctity. God looked upon his creation. The earth had become beautiful, full of life. And he desired that one day the entire earth would become as beautiful and perfect as the Garden of Eden he had created. But as he looked at the garden scene once more, as he admired the perfection of the grass, flowers, fruit trees, and the many kinds of animals enjoying a peaceful life, it seemed that God still felt something was missing. Something very important. The garden had plants, animals, beauty, and life, but there was still one final piece missing to make the picture complete. Do you know what God felt was missing? Let's find out together.